Number 4. Okay, so once again, good afternoon to all of you. And after discussing the previous content, that in the previous content we have discussed the different reasons or the causes for the purpose of for the inflation, and in that two important categories of the causes we have discussed. One was the demand side causes. In that different demand side causes we have discussed, and second category was the role of the expectation, how because of role of the expectation also how the inflation can also increase, that also we have discussed with example. Okay, now the number of things related with the inflation we have discussed. Okay, and this is the last part related with the inflation we are discussing now, and that is what. Now already before this we have seen the different various definition of the inflation, then we have seen types of the inflation, then we have seen the causes of the inflation, etc. Now, is it possible to control this? And if it is possible to control, then how? And for that, here we are going to study the measures to control the inflation, different ways using which we can control the inflation. Okay, 4 to 8 marks question can be asked on this. Okay, so there are the various measures or the ways suggested by the experts or the economists on the subject to control the inflation. And these measures or the controls are as follows. Okay, so these also we are going to divide into the two parts on the two categories. First, measures are related with the monetary or the fiscal measures. Monetary or the fiscal measures in the sense related with the controlling of the money. Okay, now as already we have discussed, the monetary measures or measures related with the money have direct effect on the inflation process. Money directly affect on the inflation process. Okay, so these monetary measures include measures or the precautions in case of the monetary measures are taken by the central bank of the country. Whichever is the central bank of the country is there for particular country, these monetary measures are taken by which bank? Central bank of the country. And which is the central bank of the India?
RBI.
RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So this particular hierarchy of the bank is like this. This is the RBI. Under the RBI, there are the categories like private banks, okay, and public banks. And again, under the private bank, there are the different kind of banks like SDFC, SBI, Axis, S Bank, etc. Under the public bank, Bank of Baroda, State Bank of India, Bank of Maharashtra, these are the banks are okay. So these monetary measures or fiscal measures taken by the Central Bank of India for India, for Central Bank of country, and for our country, this bank is the Reserve Bank of India. Okay. And the aim of this measure is to control and reduce the money from the circulation. So Central Bank of India, how they can control the inflation? By reducing what? By reducing the money from the circulation. Means what? By reducing the amount of money which will comes into the public. So whatever things they have to do to reduce the amount of money which will go into the public, they take the different control measures for that. So how it is possible to reduce the money circulation within the people? So before we discuss that, actually I would like to hear from you how it is possible to reduce the money circulation within the country. I hope you are getting the meaning of money circulation.
टॅक्सचे रेट इन्क्रीज केले.
Very good. Then okay, very good measure you told me. The same kind of measure being taken by the RBI. Let's discuss it. So monetary measures or the fiscal measures. In that, first we have bank rate policy. What? Bank rate policy. Now, in the previous discussion also I told you what should be the interest rate on these different things is decided by which bank? RBI. RBI give these guidelines to the which banks? Public banks and the private banks. Understood? So that is, so here we have the first bank monetary or the fiscal measure, that is what? Bank rate policy. So bank rates are announced by the central bank. In case of our country, it is announced by the RBI, and then RBI tell it to the different banks, public private banks. Okay. So it is the rate at which it will be accept and lend the money to the commercial bank. आता जसं आपण ह्या एसबीआय कडून लोन घेतो किंवा एचडीएफसी बँक कडून आपण लोन घेतो, बरोबर? तर ह्या ज्या बँक्स आहेत, these banks also take the loan, or these banks can also deposit the money in the RBI. You are getting what I'm saying? Yes?
Yes, sir.
जसं आपण ह्या बँकेकडून लोन घेतो किंवा आपण ह्या बँकेमध्ये मनी डिपॉझिट करतो, तर ह्या ज्या बँक्स आहेत त्या सुद्धा, ह्या बँक सुद्धा आरबीआय कडून लोन घेऊ शकतात किंवा आरबीआय मध्ये मनी डिपॉझिट करू शकतात, बिकॉज आरबीआय इज व्हॉट आवर मेन सेंट्रल बँक. ओके. सो बँक रेट पॉलिसी, इट इज व्हॉट काइंड ऑफ रेट? बँक रेट पॉलिसी म्हणजे कुठले बँक रेट्स, की जर तुम्ही लोन घेत असाल तर त्या लोनसाठी किती इंटरेस्ट रेट असेल, किंवा तुम्ही मनी डिपॉझिट करत असाल तर त्याच्यासाठी किती इंटरेस्ट रेट असेल, तर हे दॅट ऑल थिंग गेट डिसाइडेड बाय द सेंट्रल बँक, अँड all other banks follow the decision taken by the central bank, and then these all banks decide the interest rate. Okay. So then how, by deciding this bank rate, how the inflation or how the circulation of money can be reduced? So on the basis of this, central bank can reduce the credit. What can the central bank do? Central bank can reduce the credit by increasing the bank interest rate on loans and the credit cards. Now tell me, because of this, what will happen? If the central bank reduce the credit by increasing the bank interest rate on the loans and the credit card, because of this, what will happen? Tell me. If the central bank will reduce the credit, all other banks which are working under the central bank, they also has to reduce the credit.
Yes, sir.
Credit reduce करणं म्हणजे काय? Yes. What do you mean by the reducing the credit? Reducing the credit means what? ह्या बँका ज्या लोन देतात आपल्याला त्याच्यामध्ये काय करणे? रिडक्शन करणे. You are getting my point?
Yes, sir.
मग क्रेडिट मध्ये जर रिडक्शन झालं, लोन जे बँका देतात त्याच्यामध्ये जर रिडक्शन झालं, प्लस interest rate on loan also get increase, interest rate on the credit card also get increase, then what will happen? What will the result of that?
सर लोन घ्यायचं प्रमाण कमी
लोन
होईल.
घ्यायचं प्रमाण अशामुळे कमी होईल की लोन घेणं जास्त महाग होईल. अंडरस्टूड? So because of that, interest will become costly as more interest has to be paid. आणि जर लोन घेणं जास्त महाग झालं तर लोक लोन घेतील का जास्त प्रमाणात?
नाही.
So the money will become more dearer, money will become the more dearer, and so people will borrow less. म्हणजे लोक काय लोन कमी घेतील आणि जास्तीत जास्त पैसा काय करतील? सेव्ह करण्याचा प्रयत्न करतील. And because of this will reduce the credit and money supply in the economy and the market. So because of this bank rate policy, the money supply will reduce, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And if the money supply
Yes.
reduce, definitely money circulation get reduced and people will get the less money. So people spending will also become less. If the people spending will become less, demand will get average, demand will also get less, and accordingly, if the demand get control, definitely the inflation can get control. So that is the first monetary or the fiscal measure, that is the bank rate policy. Next is also related with the monetary and fiscal measures, that is the raising the level of reserve. What? Raising the level of reserve. Now, what do you mean by the reserve? Yes. Reserve means what? Raising the level of reserve.
राखीव.
राखीव. काय राखीव?
म्हणजे
आता तुमचे बऱ्याच जणांचे अकाउंट असतील बघा बँकेमध्ये, बरोबर? किंवा तुमचे पॅरेंट्सचे असतील. तर ह्या कमर्शियल, आता हे जे पब्लिक बँक किंवा प्रायव्हेट बँक म्हटलं मी तर, दीज आर द कमर्शियल बँक्स. येस ऑर नो? करेक्ट. तर ह्या बँकाचा एक रूल असतो बघा, की तुमच्या अकाउंट मध्ये कमीत कमी 5,000 रुपये असले पाहिजे, किंवा तुमच्या अकाउंट मध्ये कमीत कमी 10,000 रुपये डिपॉझिट असलं पाहिजे, नाहीतर तुम्हाला दंड पडेल. बरोबर? ही दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स यू मस्ट हॅव हर्ड.
yes sir.
That is called as the reserve for public. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
मग आपण जसं या कमर्शियल बँकेकडे रिझर्व्ह मनी ठेवतो, इन द सिमिलर वे ह्या बँकांना सुद्धा रिझर्व्ह मनी कुठे ठेवावं लागतात? यस.
रिझर्व्ह बँक मध्ये.
बरोबर. जसं आपण कॉमन पब्लिक आपलं डायरेक्ट ट्रान्झॅक्शन कोणाशी आहे, या पब्लिक प्रायव्हेट कमर्शियल बँक, आपण यांच्याकडे मनी रिझर्व्ह ठेवतो. बरोबर? इन द सिमिलर वे these banks has to put their money reserve to the reserve bank. Understood? The same thing I have mentioned. The central banking order to reduce the money supply may raise the reserve value to be kept by commercial bank with the reserve bank. मग जर ह्या बँकाने रिझर्व्ह व्हॅल्यू रिझर्व्ह बँकेकडे जास्त ठेवली, तर ह्या बँका आपल्याला जास्त लोन देऊ शकतील का?
नाही.
No. And that is the another fiscal measure, raising the level of reserve. So if the level of reserve get increased, this will result in the transfer of that money in the reserve and will no longer available for the lending. जर ह्या बँकांनी जास्तीत जास्त रिझर्व्ह बँकेकडे ठेवला, तर पैसे लोकांना लोन देण्यासाठी ह्या बँकेकडे अवेलेबलच नसणार आहे. And because of this, the result will be credit squeeze. Result of that will be what? Credit squeeze. What do you mean by the credit squeeze? Yes, what do you mean by the credit squeeze? Yes. What do you mean by the squeeze? Credit म्हणजे काय? उधार देणे, लोन देणे. Squeeze me, what is the meaning of squeeze? Let me tell you the better way. तुम्ही छोटी पाईपलाईन, असे घरामध्ये पाईप असतो बघा, आपल्या पाणी आपण हे करतो त्या पाईपनी, छोटा पाईप असतो. बरोबर? येस.
येस सर.
तर त्या पाईप मधून जर पाणी तुम्ही जर जात असेल, तर ते पाईप जर तुम्ही थोडा इथं त्याला असं आपण दाबलं, तर पुढे पाणी त्या प्रेशरने जाऊ शकतं का? त्या कमी प्रमाणात पाणी जाईल का जास्त प्रमाणात जाईल पुढे?
कमी प्रमाणात.
कमी प्रमाणात. तेच मग रिझर्व्ह बँकेकडे जर रिझर्व्ह जास्त ठेवला या कमर्शियल बँकने, तर ह्या बँकेकडे जो येणारा पैसा आहे तो काय होईल? कमी होईल. आणि ह्या बँकेकडे जो येणारा पैसा कमी झाला, तर बँका लोन कमी देऊ शकतील का जास्त?
कमी देतील.
कमी आहे. And that is called as a credit squeeze. Understood? So because of the raising the level of reserve, central banking can manage to reduce the money supply, and if the money supply get reduced, the lending can get reduced. Okay, लोकांना पैसे देण्याचं जे प्रमाण आहे loan through, that will be get reduced, and if that will get reduced, definitely demand can be get control, people spending can be get control, and if the people spending can be get control, definitely demand can be get control, and then because of that inflation can be get control. Another important monetary and the fiscal measure is the high taxation. Yes, it can also the good measure or control or solution to control the inflation. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
जर taxation जास्त वाढलं, here I have mentioned fiscal policy must adopt scheme to raise the direct tax to control the spending power of community or the people. If the taxation will get increased, the disposal money will decrease or the increase. If the
Decrease, sir.
decrease, कारण मी काय सांगितलं की डिस्पोजल इन्कम म्हणजे काय, टॅक्स दिल्यानंतर जे काय इन्कम राहतं त्याला आपण डिस्पोजल इन्कम म्हणतो. So if the tax will get increased, definitely the disposal income will get decreased. That is because of the devaluation of the money. And if the disposal income will get decreased, people will not spend more, and that definitely reduce the demand, and also it can help to reduce the inflation also. Understood this measure or solution?
Yes, sir.
Then last category in the control measures we have, that is the social and the economical measures. Social and the economical measures. Now in that, first solution is increasing the production. Increasing the production. Now increasing the production of what? Increasing the production of goods and services. Now tell me, if there is an increase in the production of goods and services, then what can happen?
Demand कमी होईल, sir.
When you are increasing the production, that is nothing but the increasing the supply. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if the supply will get increased, definitely that supply can fulfill the demand. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Then what can be done to increase the production of different goods and services? What do you think? What can be done for that? Most of the goods and services comes from the farmers. Correct or not? Then government can help the farmers to increase the production by giving the different incentive. What do you mean by the incentive? Yes, government should provide the enough incentive to increase the production in the economy. Incentives are meaning काय? Yes.
टिप दिल्यावाने सर ते प्रोत्साहन.
Help. In the
Help.
you can take the meaning of the incentive as a help. So government can give the help to the farmers in the different way. की government can give the subsidy on the fertilizers. बरोबर? जे खत वापरतो त्याच्यावर गव्हर्नमेंट काय देऊ शकतं? सबसिडी देऊ शकतं. गव्हर्नमेंट कॅन प्रोव्हाइड द पीक विमा, म्हणजे जर तुमचं पीक बाय चान्स वाया गेलं तर त्याचा गव्हर्नमेंट काय देऊ शकतं? तुम्हाला भरपाई देऊ शकतं. Then government can encourage the farmers to take the more production through giving this kind of different kind of helps, incentive, providing the guidance on which kind of crop farmers should take. Like this kind of, by doing this kind of things, government can encourage the farmers to increase the production. So this is the most positive step to fight the inflation. That is what? To increase the production. So this will increase the supply of the commodities, of different commodities in the market, And if the supply of the different communities in the market get increased, that will definitely control the rising prices and the inflation. If the goods and services are available in very much amount, then definitely can satisfy the demand. And if the demand gets satisfied correctly, then there are the less chances that prices of these goods and services will cross the certain limit. And if that prices of the goods and services remain in the certain limit, then definitely the inflation can be controlled in the better way. Then another last measure or the solution in social and the economic measures is the compulsory savings. Now you tell me about this. What do you mean by the compulsory savings? Yes. What do you mean by the compulsory savings? Yes. Saving means what?
जिथे नेसेसरी तिथंच पैसे खर्च करायचे सर, बाकीचे सेव्ह करायचे.
Save करायचं. बर. That is also correct. Another meaning of saving here you have to take. Suppose per month you are earning the 10,000 rupees. Okay, per month you are earning the 10,000 rupees. Likewise, suppose consider there is a one country where the population of that country is the 30 crore. Out of that 30 crore, almost 20 crore people, just as an example, 20 crore people earning 10,000 rupees per month. How much? 10,000. But whenever they get the salary, they spend that whole salary how they want. And they kept zero amount of money in their saving bank account. What will happen?
सर इमर्जन्सी टाइमला त्यांच्याकडे पैसे नाही राहणार.
ते तर झालंच. पण दरवेळेस ते पैसे येतील ते जर असे उधळपट्टी करणार असतील, त्याच्यामुळे गुड्स अँड सर्व्हिसेसची डिमांड वाढेल की नाही?
येस सर.
येस,
Yes, sir.
इट विल. कारण जर 30 करोड मधले 20 करोड म्हणजे ऑलमोस्ट सगळेच लोक जर असं करत असतील, तर प्राइसेस विल डेफिनेटली गेट इन्क्रीज. पण ह्याच 20 करोड लोकांना जर कंपल्सरी केलं की तुम्हाला जे 10,000 रुपये मिळतात त्याच्यामधले तुम्ही ऍटलिस्ट 2,000 रुपीज तुम्ही सेव्ह करायलाच पाहिजे. ते 2,000 रुपीज तुम्ही तुमच्या सेव्हिंग अकाउंट मध्ये राहिलेच पाहिजे. असं केलं तर डिमांड काय होईल किंवा स्पेंडिंग पॉवर इन्क्रीज होईल का डिक्रीज होईल?
डिक्रीज होईल.
Decrease होईल.
स्पेंडिंग पॉवर डिक्रीज झाली तर डेफिनेटली डिमांड विल डिक्रीज. अँड दॅट इज नथिंग बट द कंपल्सरी सेव्हिंग मेजर्स. की सगळ्या लोकांना काय करायचं? कंपल्सरी करायचं की तुम्ही 2,000 रुपये सेव्हिंग केलीच पाहिजे. एनी हाऊ. अंडरस्टूड? नाउ दिस प्रिन्सिपल और दिस कंट्रोल मेजर इज invented, or this is put forward by or discovered by economist Mr. Lord Kenyon. So Mr. Lord Kenyon suggested this method according to which compulsorily converting the appropriate part of the earning of the worker, which he does not say voluntarily. म्हणजे काय? सो इच्छेने. जर ते सो इच्छेने सेव्हिंग करत नसतील तर त्यांना काय करणे? कंपल्सरी करणे, मॅन्डेटरी करणे. कशासाठी? सेव्हिंग करण्यासाठी. So that is also the another measures which is related with the social and the economic measures. Because of that also money circulation can be controlled. Because of that also demand can be controlled. And if the demand get controlled, then definitely the inflation can be get controlled. All of you are understood these different measures.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's it from the inflation content related with the all the contents of the inflation. So next time we'll learn about की हे आता आपण सगळं बघितलं की इन्फ्लेशन काय, रिझन्स काय, टाइप्स काय. तर प्रॅक्टिकली इन्फ्लेशन कसं कॅल्क्युलेट केलं जातं, हाऊ द इन्फ्लेशन. तुम्ही जर बघितलं तर गव्हर्नमेंट प्रत्येक 3 महिन्याला किंवा 6 महिन्याला किंवा वर्षाला गव्हर्नमेंट पब्लिश करतं की सध्या आपल्या देशामध्ये किती इन्फ्लेशन आहे. तुम्ही आता सुद्धा लेक्चर झाल्यानंतर गुगलवर जाऊन चेक करता इन्फ्लेशन रेट ऑफ इंडिया इन 2020, यू विल गेट द इन्फ्लेशन रेट. तर हा इन्फ्लेशन रेट कसा कॅल्क्युलेट केला जातो, हाऊ दिस इन्फ्लेशन इज गेट कॅल्क्युलेटेड ऑन डिफरंट प्रोडक्ट्स. So that part we will study next time. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
So that's it from this lecture. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir.